So good evening to everyone and everyone. Good evening. Could be morning depending on where you are in the world. But I want to welcome you here to the Leadership TKO live night show. The live night show, and it looks like I am live. Okay, it looks like I am live. And so we should be streaming right now on Facebook, specifically on my timeline. And so what we're going to do definitely is conduct a watch party at the same time. This is what I normally do. So I am a leadership specialist and a wealth mentor. And so I'm going to go into the background of this particular show and the purpose of it in just a couple of moments. But I want to make sure that we are encouraging more people to plug into the show. So that's why I'm going to conduct a watch party. And it's usually a group that's really, really active. It has active members. And so I'm going to definitely host this watch party there and check the audio just to make sure that we're good with that. All right, so inserting the topic matter for tonight, and then I'm going to check the audio in this particular group. I'm going to conduct a watch. All right, so it sounds like it's pretty good. So let's go ahead and greet the ladies in this group. Good evening, ladies. So again, welcome aboard. Excited to be here tonight. I really am. It's an honor and a privilege. With this particular show, we normally go live with this show every single night around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I say around 9 o'clock because there could be some amazing events going on somewhere near the time of the podcast. And so I want to make sure I respect your time and enable you to be able to be present for those other important meetings as well. So this is why we have a little bit of an adjustment sometimes with the time of the podcast. But nonetheless, we are here. And the purpose of this podcast show, we really intend to, myself and my team members, we want to help you to win from the inside out, growing your influence, your impact, and your income. That is the goal behind this show. We've been consecutively just, consistently plugging in and providing you with information to help you, the home-based business owner, to really grow as a leader and really to grow your business. So we've been giving you some strategies and tips on how to do just that. But I want to take a little bit of a detour. Okay, I want to really shift gears because I've had some people ask some questions about a couple of things, and being as though this is the month of January, right? First month of the year, and we want to make sure we set the tone for this year. So for those of you home business owners, I'm going to be specifically speaking to you again, but from a different angle. Okay, from a different angle. Hopefully you see the title of the message. And so before we dive into that, what I want to encourage you to do is, number one, love this watch party. Love the stream that you're listening into and watching right now. Go ahead and hit the heart button. Number two, we have this comments feature so we can interact, okay? Now, I might not respond immediately, but definitely after the live version is over, I'll get back with you. And for those of you on YouTube, if you're catching this on YouTube a little bit later, I'll definitely get back with you as well. And then we have the share button. So you can share this stream, this video on your timeline as a watch party, or you can share it in a group or on a fan page. But be a blessing to those you're connected to online. And so great to be here once again, everyone. And so little detour for those of you who are home business owners. Let me ask you this question. You see, it's important that we lay the foundation, when we're really seeking to impact the lives of so many people, we have to lay the foundation. And it really starts with us as the business owners, right? Now, you could be someone who is just really diving out there, and as Steve Harvey would say, jumping, right? And really going forward with your desire to grow a business. Totally get it. Okay, totally get that desire to want to have control over your time and really trying to set the tone with your own income, right? Your own revenue, passive income coming in. Totally get that as well. But it's something else that we need to really look at, because we want to make sure that we are fully operating in an area that has really been ingrained in us. And that is the utilization, right? The discovery and the utilization of our gifts. And you see, the gifts has been placed in us to be able to be given to someone else, okay? So it's important for us to understand what is a gift. And then we can try to see, how do we discover what our gift is, okay? And then make sure we're adequately using it within our businesses. It doesn't matter if it's a traditional business or if it's a network marketing model style of business. We want to make sure we're utilizing those gifts and in the right season. So let's talk about it for a moment. What is a gift? Okay. According to Merriam-Webster, okay, a gift is a notable capacity, a talent, an endowment, okay? A notable endowment, something that you have been endowed, instilled with, that natural ability to be able to do. So it's something you have been given at the very beginning since you've been placed here on the earth. Now, it doesn't perfect itself on its own. You have to work at it. You have to put the time and the hours into honing and shaping that particular gift. So how do you find out what your gift is? That will be the next question. Since you know that you should have a gift, how do you find out what that gift is? Well, there are a couple of ways that you can find out what your endowment is, what your natural ability is. Just as the definition says, it's a natural ability. So what is it that you can naturally, ordinarily do without stress? Think about that thing for yourself. What is it? What is that action, that hobby? It could start off as a hobby that comes across to you as something natural that you do without stress. And you would even want to do it without even receiving any compensation for it. What is that endowment, that natural ability? You see, for me, I came to understand that I enjoy connecting with people. I enjoy communicating with people, right? As much as I try to stay away from it, even in my youth, that was something that I was naturally doing. I found myself connecting with people, speaking with people, even in my young age, at the age of 4 and 5. I remember myself singing Whitney Houston songs. I believe the children are our future. I remember singing that song in kindergarten, not even realizing, okay, this is something that God is really trying to share with me and help me to understand that this is a gift. And sometimes the gifts can overlap with other types of gifts. So sometimes, for example, speaking may overlap with singing. It sometimes can, but I do understand there are some people who prefer singing versus speaking in front of a large group of people. I know a couple of people like that, okay? But here's the thing. You will see subtle little signs about what your gift is. And so that's how I began to realize this particular gift in my life is when I was in my youth and doing certain things that came natural to me. You see, when I was younger, of course, the teachers in the educational system used to say, well, she used to talk to my mom and say, Brenda, your daughter, she talks a whole lot. She talks quite a bit. We might need her to just slow down and stop talking so much in the inappropriate times, right? So you see, they used to say those things, right? And then when I stopped speaking as much, what happened? They say, well, look, Miss Baker, she's not talking enough. She's not participating enough. So I became naturally confused. I'm thinking to myself, well, what am I supposed to do? You told me at one point I was speaking too much. And then when I stopped speaking as much, you say I'm not speaking as much as I need to speak. So what is it that you desire me to do? So this is what was happening in school. So then I gradually, of course, moved on and, went up, of course, in the grade levels and things of that nature. And then I came across a public speaking class. And this was in high school, right? And so I realized that people begin to say certain remarks about me, even when I was in the midst of higher level students and me being the only freshman in the class, right? And so I began to recognize small things, little things along the way. Now, I did receive some formal education. And upon graduating from one of those institutions, right, at the end, I also crossed over in a sorority. And so during that ceremony, my mother recognized something specific about what I did. she shared with me how people's attention, right, was upon what I was saying. They were stuck on every word that I was communicating to them. And she said that my ability to communicate a thought was really clear even during that ceremony. And so I said, well, if my mother is recognizing this about me, there must be something to this, right? And so after that, I began to hone my craft. I began to put hours into that. And this is something that we all need to do, even yourself. Finding out what that gift is, sometimes people closest to you will recognize what that gift may be. And then once you discover what it is, you need to put in the work, put in the hours, right? Study, read books, listen to audio programs, receive mentorship or coaching from those individuals who are in that space, who also may have that gift. You want to connect with them. And that's exactly what I did, right? I did that specific thing. I said, you know what? I'm going to need someone I can speak to. I'm going to need a coach. See, at that time, at the very beginning, this was more along the lines of a spiritual calling, right? Where I knew that God was calling me specifically for a certain time and to do a certain thing. And so I prayed for help, and he began to send me help. Of course, pastors came along and wanted to disciple me and help me to understand more about the word. And so you do have to be careful what you pray about, because you will get an answer, okay? And so that began to take hold of itself, and I began to get instruction as it pertains to the word of God many, many, many years ago. And so I continue forward, and I began to connect with powerful organizations and, of course, acting groups, right? I was a part of an acting troupe where it was called the Positive Impact Ensemble, and we traveled throughout New Jersey and in Pennsylvania, and we were seeking to end or at least lower the statistics of discrimination in high schools amongst the staff as well as the students. And so we were working towards that, and I participated in competitions for acting and drama and theater and things of that nature. And so things began to take place there. I began to win awards for different things, okay? And as I moved along and really dove into entrepreneurship, doors began to open, and I was still working in my gift area. At the same time, I also began publishing books, okay? And so I began to put my work out there, promote what it is that I was doing with my book. And so with doing that, sowing those seeds out there online and in the local community, what happened was my gift began to make room for me in different ways, not just here in the United States, but also abroad in Africa. And then that's when it began to blossom even more. I put in the time, the effort. I focused in on my craft. I did study. And at the same time, understand, there wasn't a whole lot of help available, a few years ago when I started really diving into my craft. But over time, I began to see resources come available, and I began to take advantage of it. So I began to connect with powerful people like Dr. John Maxwell, right? I began to connect with Robert Kiyosaki and his team. I began to connect with amazing mentors here, even in the Virginia area, such as Mr. Ty Bess, right? Amazing mentors who's helped me in different ways to be able to hone my craft when it comes to business, and then not just that, when it comes to speaking. And so I began to understand that speaking is one of those gifts that I have been endowed with. And so you need to find out what that may be for yourself. And once you find that out, begin to put in that time and that effort to hone your craft. Because you're not an expert in something unless you put in about 10,000 hours or so in that particular area. And remember, a gift is not a gift until it's given. So if you're just holding it to yourself and you're not giving it to those who may need it, how is it a blessing? How is it truly a gift if you have not given it? And so the only way, of course, that those doors are going to open for you is if you make yourself available and you sow into yourself. You invest into yourself, personal development, professional development. The moment you begin to do this, doors will begin to open for you. It's happened for me consistently, and it can happen for you. And see, throughout the years, people begin to even recognize, of course, my time that I've devoted to the craft. So, for example, this is just one of them. I didn't want to bring all of them out, but this is just one of them. You may not be able to see everything here in this particular award, but this is an orator award, okay? And this is by an organization called Achi, okay? Achi Magazine Orator Award, right? And this is from back in 2014. So amongst many speakers in the Hampton Roads area, I was recognized and awarded as the Orator of the Year in 2014. And so people will begin to recognize and see the work that you're doing and the time that you're sowing in your craft. But you have to put the work in. And sometimes, it's not going to be seen immediately. Think about the growth of a plant, right? The plant is growing. Say, for example, this is the earth. A plant and that seed is deposited. It's deposited in the earth. And you make sure, of course, the dirt is covering it and that it's well deep in there, right? But see, with the plant, if the plant and the seed is right there, right? It's going to take root first and it's going to grow in depth first. And that's what has to happen with us as we're discovering our gift. Grow in depth first. Get and take root first in what your gift and your talent or your endowment is. And then what happens? It begins to blossom and come forth. And it will make room. There will be room enough so that you can utilize your gift and be a blessing to many people. But first, it has to take root underneath first so it can be solid, so that your character will be able to stand, so that when things get hard and tough and when all types of craziness happens, you're prepared for it. You can handle it. But for right now, you may need to get some more root. So you have to take hold of the process. There's a process to everything. And this is something I learned for myself. It's a process for everything. So even with your gift, give it time. Sow the time in, hone your craft, and then make sure, see where you are with your business. Make sure it goes hand in hand. Make sure there is room that the business that you're a part of would allow you to be able to utilize your gift. Because if you're a part of an opportunity and you're not able to use your gift, although you're making money with the opportunity, hopefully you'll be able to utilize that revenue and be able to do the things that you desire to do. And for example, I'm a part of a money system, and with the money system, it definitely is helping me and my husband to do some of the things that we want to do in life. Spend the adequate time with our kids the way that we want to. Be able to travel when we need to. Of course, the little ones are in school and things of that nature, but be able to travel and do the things that we really, really want to do. All right? And so it's allowing me the opportunity to travel to different places. For example, going to Africa and planning, hopefully, to go to Australia and various other places. But if you don't have, of course, that passive income coming in, like, of course, the money system enables me and many others to have, you're going to be restricted with your time. So you need that time freedom so that you'll be able to utilize your gifts as well and do what you love to do, okay? But you need to put that time in as well when it comes to honing your gifts and making sure that it's well mature so that when you use it, it's a blessing to many people. And hopefully you all are understanding what I'm saying, all right? Now, if you're watching this right now, I would love for you to share in the comment section, what is your gift? What do you believe your primary number one gift is? So for example, I believe my primary number one gift is communication and public speaking. So what would that be for you? What would that primary gift be for you? Go ahead and share that in the comment section. I would love to learn. See, that's going to help me to understand and learn more about you. Okay, and perhaps we can connect and people will begin to network with you and connect with you because you might share the same gift. So what is that gift for you? Go ahead and share that below. I would love to hear it. And even as you're doing this, please understand, there's always room, a part of the money system. that myself and over 800,000 people around the world are plugged into. We're using this gift, and this gift, of this amazing money system is also a gift to us because it's a blessing. It's allowing us to be a blessing to many people. And so if you want to learn how to make money while you sleep, if you want to understand how to have a steady flow of income so that you can do what it is you love to do, I want to invite you to definitely inbox me or the person that shared this video with you. Perhaps they're sharing it on their timeline right now. Get back with them and ask them about the money system. It's free to plug into, okay? There's no required monthly fees. Nothing is required. Everything we do is voluntary. So if you want to learn how to have your money working hard for you so that you're not working hard for money, you want to have that steady cash flow coming in for this year, 2020. I want to invite you once again, get back with myself or another wealth builder. We're here to help you, to be your mentor so that this year can be your best year ever. Your best year ever. And so thank you so much for tuning in. And guess what? Tonight is going to be something amazing going on even after this stream. My colleague, Mr. Gregory McKay, he's going to be doing a presentation and it should be airing on social media as well. You'll be able to see a watch party pop up. And I would love for you to be a part and to view the entire presentation. It will give you even more information about this amazing money system. I want you to have your best year ever. Watch that particular presentation and definitely get back with me or the person that shares it with you because you'll be glad that you watched it. So thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow night around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Leadership TKO live night show. I'm your host, Lakeisha McKnight. So until then, I do encourage you to think, to speak, and to live leadership. Good night and God bless.